A Coles meat shortage. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I've got my lunchtime stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this news.com.au article discussing, well, the meat shortage that is happening at Coles. Now, for those of you that are not aware, I am a little bit of a fan of meat. We buy our animals, well, by the beast. You know, half a cow or a full lamb. I had roast lamb for breakfast. It's fantastic, actually, really good. Ever since we went down the keto and then carnivore path, we really changed our diet significantly. And a big part of that is buying meat. And if you buy meat, it's not cheap. It isn't cheap. We bought it, started buying in bulk, and just went from there. And, you know, it really is a great way to get good quality meat that you can control. And also to have a long-term supply at home. So we were prepping before it was even cool. If you're looking for a good butcher in Brisbane, I recommend the Rockley Market Butcher. Or if you're looking at just, you know, wanting to experiment, getting a hindquarter or a forequarter, or even a full beast of a cow, just go talk to your butcher. Most of them will be able to order it in for you. And Rachel's done videos on the channel here that you can find about how she prepares and packs up the meat when it arrives. It's a great way to save money, to make your money go a bit further. It also forces you to really, you know, eat nose to tail, eat every single thing you can to, well, make the most out of your investment. But let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this of potential meat shortages. And some people are terrified that they're going to be, you know, issues with supply. I think a big part of it here in Australia is logistics. So, the supermarket giant is facing a potential disruption to its meat supply as a result of the brutal pandemic crisis engulfing Victoria. A worrying cluster at a Victorian meat supplier has sparked concerns of a looming shortage of products in Coles supermarkets. Somerville Retail Services in Tottenham in Western Melbourne supplies lamb, pork and beef to the grocery juggernaut, and there are now 12 pandemic cases linked to the company. It has since been closed for deep cleaning in an effort to control the potential spread of the illness, and team members have been placed in isolation for testing. A Coles spokesperson confirmed the closure in a statement provided to The Age. We have made alternative arrangements to protect supply for our customers, the spokesperson said in a statement. I mean, that's the thing. This is only one shop, guys. There's other opportunities. You can go to Woolies, you can go to Aldi, you can go to a whole heap of local butchers. This is the advantage of having competition, everyone. The market's providing. There are opportunities. We started going to a butcher because we wanted to ensure that we got pasture-fed cattle that wasn't grain finished. We wanted it to be halal free, and we wanted it to be organic. So we pay a slight premium for that, but that's our choice, and we get it brought in from Victoria. From Victoria, and tastes bloody good too. A Coles spokesperson confirmed the closure to The Age, and they've made alternative supply. Our team is working hard to replenish our stores, and we apologise if an item a customer wishes to buy is out of stock. The Somerville Retail Services website boasts it is one of the largest retail-ready processors of retail-ready meat products in Australia. A family-owned and operated company, we have grown from one small production line to presently supplying Coles supermarkets in each state throughout southeastern Australia, the site says. Oh, good on them. I mean, Coles and Woolies they're horrible to work for as a supplier. At least Coles was. We did some work for them, and I really wanted to get in there because it was a big brand. But then once I got some opportunities there, I realized people were working for them for so cheap, it just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it. I couldn't believe it. You know, that was part of my learning process. You know, we got working for some big brand names that looks good on the website, looks good in the portfolio. But then when you do the figures, going, you know what? Looks good. There's no profit in it, or hardly any. You know, people just doing it, you know, for the pleasure of working for Coles. I mean, come on. Somerville Retail Services has built its reputation on consistent delivery service, meeting our customers' needs and having a strong quality focus. Our production and delivery cycle is less than 48 hours from receiving an order to delivering to a Coles store. It supplies around 700 stores with various meat products. However, it is just the latest in a string of pandemic outbreaks to occur within Victorian meatworks, including at Cedar Meats back in May during the initial outbreak, JBS Meats and Pacific Meats. Tends to happen. Same thing in the US, wasn't it? Same thing in the US. So, you need to make friends with a farmer out west and a local butcher, someone that can actually, a slaughterman, someone that can actually slaughter it. That's one thing with regards to the slaughter and the amount of our beef products, our frozen bovine that's sent to Indonesia and other Islamic countries. Because they have the halal requirements, there's actually a discriminatory religious aspect to who can commit the slaughter. So that, is putting Australians out of work. If you're religious or not. It doesn't quite seem fair, does it? To have a preference for one group over another. However, I've already read this. The news comes as Victorians face the threat of an even tougher lockdown, with Premier Daniel Andrews saying stage 4 restrictions haven't been ruled out. The Victorian lockdown has already caused many supermarket shelves to be stripped of products as residents begin a second wave of stockpiling in preparation for the situation to worsen. I mean, a lot of people in the comments have been saying that they've already... It's just sensible to have a steady supply of foodstuffs at home, to have at least a month's stock. Some people have 6 months of stock. I wouldn't... Well, actually, yeah, no, when we have a full beast, we probably have about 6 months worth of meat frozen at home. And I've got a generator in case I lose power to keep it going for a week or two if I need to. Because, that's a fairly big investment in meat. And you need to freeze it and prepare it. And it makes more sense with a larger family. A bigger household. Victoria has already introduced stage 3 restrictions over metropolitan Melbourne and Mitchell Shire, with people in those areas required to stay at home unless they are shopping for essentials, caregiving, exercising, or going to work or study. During a press conference earlier today, Mr. Andrews said it was possible that even tougher restrictions would soon be introduced. We're not there yet, he said, but added, I can't rule out we have further limitations placed on people's movements. I can't rule that out. As I always said, if we're planning for it, we'll share it with the community. Meanwhile, New South Wales begins to record its own alarming spike in pandemic cases, with moronic pub patrons in the state being blamed for a new pandemic crackdown after a string of new clusters was linked to pubs, clubs, and casinos. Here's the thing. People have stopped caring. People are getting sick of it. People have stopped caring. Whenever you see these photos of people out at a nightclub or a pub, they're not social distancing. They want to go out and they want to have a beer. They don't care. How many people just want to roll the dice and get sick and get it over and done with? State Premier Gladys B is set to announce the changes on Tuesday, with heavy fines and tougher regulations on the collection of contact details and the size of groups. The size of group bookings will be slashed from 20 to just 10 under the changes, with larger venues limited to just 300 patrons. So there we go, everyone. There we go. So potential for meat shortages at Coles, but there are other places to get your food stuff, and you wonder why people are preparing. People are buying in bulk. I'd recommend buying in bulk just as a way of saving money. Then it forces you to learn how to cook every single part of an animal. And it's good for you too. Even get the bones, everyone. And then boil it down to get tallow and use that to cook with. It's good for you. It's good. It's healthy. Yeah, like the old ways. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Where do you source your meat from? Are you worried about these shortages? Or do you buy it in bulk as well? Or are you going to go out with a fishing rod and chuck a line in? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're a fan and want to support the content I create here. There are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.